Leave us homeless people alone.
I know, right?
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that they're drinking out in public or
if they're doing bad,
or bad
it's different.
things go. But if I'm just sitting here a little longer than you think I should be sitting here, I mean, come on now.
Stupid. May I ask what's your name?
My name's Chantel Crock.
How old are you?
I'm 42 years old. Yeah, I just turned 42 on March.
And how long have you been on the streets?
This time, June 1st will be my year mark. Before this, I was actually doing really, really good for 5 years. You know, I mean, I had a full-time job in Daytona, making a lot of hours. I had all bills paid and money in the bank. I was buying my own trailer in a 55 community park. Once again, I'm 42, you know, and back then, and you know, I was 41, but you know, they allowed me to be there because I don't cause trouble. I don't do drugs. You know, I drink every now and then, but after getting hurt so many times, I pretty much quit that.
Where are you from again?
Born and raised here in Florida. I spent 26 years in Daytona, and then I came here when work got slow. Like I'd go back and forth.
Okay.
You know, that's how I know Orlando. And this all happened when I fell on the streets. It all happened in Daytona. Because of an ex-boyfriend. You know, he ended up using me, but I do have to take responsibility. I let it happen, you know, and it took about a year and a half, but I lost everything. And then when I fell on the streets, he disappeared, went back to stepdad. And
do you have kids, may I ask?
I have 3. They're all grown though, and they pretty much resent me because they were brainwashed through the system. You know, I wish they talked to him. I mean, I wish they talked to me, I really do. But right now my daughter, she's taking it the worst. You know, she's like, if I don't give her money, that I can't see my first grandchild, you know, her first child.
Wow.
And, you know, it breaks my heart because it's like I'm trying to do the best that I can. You know, and if God would just give me a second chance, I would do things different.
You know, it's crazy, and I cannot imagine.
We get stereotyped a lot.
I cannot imagine.
Like, I mean,
how hard it
everybody
is.
thinks that it's our own fault that we're out here, and I mean,
every person.
And some of us, you know, we do have a lesson to be learned. You know, everybody goes through trials and tribulations.
But everyone makes mistakes, and everyone's different. Everyone has different possibilities, and I don't know about your parents. Maybe your parents were different, you see, and that's
my parents
a whole story.
Pretty bad. I mean, my dad and my stepdad ended up molesting me, and then my mom, she wouldn't believe none of it. She turned her back on me when I was 16. When I was 18, I tried to desperately contact her. She was the first one to tell all her friends that she never had a daughter named Chantel.
Wow.
It's crucial that we get help, like, right off the bat, you know. It's like, it's good to broadcast, yeah, we plan on doing this for the homeless, we plan on doing that for the homeless, but
just
actually
action,
doing it
the action
is totally different. You know, they just passed that 2 Greyhound buses to park at Christian Service Center. They were supposed to have 46 bunk beds each, one for females and one for males, 24-hour security, so we have somewhere safe to sleep instead of underneath bushes and, you know, away from the area so cops don't arrest us, because they got that new law how you can legally get arrested just
if you're
for sleeping on the street.
Wow, that's
just for
crazy.
Sleeping. Most people who are against us haven't lived our lives.
Yeah.
Haven't slept in the dirt. Don't know what it's like to get rained on. You know, for somebody to look down on you, or don't even want to see you, or you know, don't even want to look at you because they're afraid that you're going to ask them for something. The average room for rent is about $1,500 a month. Most people, even on disability, who cannot work at all, people who are blind, people with no legs, people with no arms, you know, that that are mentally retarded and can't really take care of themselves, you know, so they go around smelling like garbage because they don't have any sense to take a shower every day because we lost hope. We're under depression. And then people, like, when I had my arthritis and liquid on my spine, it was seizing my muscles up. It was making it hard for me to walk. And I mean, the whole time we're waiting and waiting for something to happen, and it's
Nothing.
just nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing happens. And in the meantime, we always got the stresses of making sure our phone's charged, making sure we get a shower. When we go to these organizations like Salt Outreach or Christian Service Center, we literally spend anywhere between 1 to 2 hours in line for a shower. Then after that, if we want to eat, it's another 1 to 2 hours in line to eat. And then basically after that, if we want to check our mail or see a doctor, it's 1 to 2 hours in line.
Imagine
to see
doing that every day.
Okay, so it's an everyday thing just to get our basic needs. You know, there is a lot of people out here that's just, you know, we're not bad at all. Yes, you have the average addicts that just choose to be out here, spend their money on their drug habits day in and day out. They don't want to pay rent. They don't want to contribute to society. But there's a huge amount that really are trying to get up off these streets. And then you have to sit here day in and day out and making sure that you don't bother anyone. But at the same time, it's like, you want to at least ask for $1 or $2 just to get by on. You know, I mean, most people, they don't realize that $1 or $2 to a homeless person is like a whole paycheck to a normal person. And so it was like in my head, I was doing me and I was surviving. But before that little block of me being on my feet, I was actually on the streets for 10 years off and on before that. You know, ever since I got on.
You haven't had it easy at all.
Not at all.
I'm just listening. I cannot imagine.
Since I got out of foster care at 18 all the way up to 42, I've had 5 years that I was off the streets completely. Because this is the first time I've been on the streets and not worked. I always did something for myself, you know, either cleaning houses or doing yard work or, you know, going through the labor halls or even having a job. I always loved working. It's just the disability stopped me. Like,
and what was the thing on your arm that you said?
What happened was when I came here on the verge of looking for work, I developed this disability, arthritis and liquid on my spine. I spent 22 days in the hospital off and on for it. It was seizing up my muscles bad, my nerves, lightning bolt pain up my spine. I was losing my bladder. It kind of resembled like water and electricity. You know, the liquid and the nerves kind of shocked me. It got way worse when it got cold, and it did get cold last winter. It was pretty brutal because I had spent literally about 7-8 months in sheer pain, hardly being able to walk, crying every day, praying it off, people praying it off me. You know, every time somebody wanted to pray with me, they'd come, and like I said, it took that long, about 3-4 months, it just vanished. Just like that. Something that the doctors told me that I needed surgery for just disappeared. My birthday rolled around, which is March 22nd, and I was stupid. I went all that time, months and months and months of not drinking, and my birthday rolled around. I went through depression, and I went and I was like, well, a couple of drinks ain't gonna hurt. And I went to the library, I was watching a movie on the computer, and that's the last I remember. And I woke up in the hospital. They told me that I fell out of my seat right on my hand, and that, you know, a couple people confirmed that I was screaming and crying on the way out in the ambulance. I don't remember a thing. I don't even remember going to the hospital. I don't remember them splitting up my hand. I don't remember them putting an IV in. I just
Wow.
came to, and is even being intoxicated, not hurting anybody but yourself, got me trespassed from the library for 3 years. And that wasn't because I was intoxicated, it was because I was homeless. I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like, this is what I'm talking about. It's like, okay, I know the code of conduct. I made one mistake, and I never had any incidences before that. You know, I've never gotten in trouble at the library before. I've always respected people. I've always been nice and kind and courteous and quiet, and I slip up one time and I get banned for 3 years.
Wow.
You know, and that just doesn't make sense. You know, I mean, doesn't people deserve a warning at least? You know, I mean, it's common sense that you're not supposed to go to the library, you know, drunk, but, you know, where else am I supposed to go? You know, I mean, the library is a safe haven to me, and I was tore up bad when they did that. I spent 3 days in the hospital after I broke my hand, and when I came out, I tried to go back to the library like nothing ever happened. And yeah,
They
the
just
cop
told
picked, you know, they had already messed with my card. I couldn't even log in on the computer, and they had the cop there with the papers, trespass warning papers.
Thank you so much for your time, for telling me a lot about how's your day by day and what's been happening. I really appreciate that. You seem to be a great person, honestly.
I try to be.
And
like I
this
said,
just 20 minutes that we've been talking, I can see that. Thank you. I like yours. It's different.
thanks for listening.
No, thank you for sharing your story with me, and I do appreciate that. Well, hopefully I'll see you around here.